Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early October 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as usual and start you off with an oracle card so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's good for the lovely Scorpios out there as we move closer and closer to Scorpio season. If you can't tell, I am in the season spirit, my friends. Get to have your cards read by a big old teddy bear. So I hope you enjoy that, but let's get it going here. We're going to get this first card out here real quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot as half the deck flies out of my hands, just to see if there's any shadows around you or if there's any shadow work you should lean into. So that's always an interesting part of the spread. But let's get it going here. Let's get one card out for Scorpio, please. What do we got? All right, yeah, thank you. So we do have this card that could represent fun showing up here. So you might need to cut loose a little bit. You might need to take something not as serious when I see this card. So that is a big card of cutting loose in general. So we'll speak about it. Before we do though, before we peel back the layers, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But into the reading, enough of the promo. This card, it has like a snow globe, a pony, or a unicorn. There's various toys. So when I see this, obviously the main theme I think of, like I said, is fun. So the need to have fun. For some of you, you might be partying it up a little too much when this card shows up. Hey, no judgment over here. But when this card shows up, some of you might be like very serious, stern, and you might need to loosen up in some way. So whether that's going out to hang out with friends, go shopping, whatever it might be, whatever it is you do to have fun, play sports, do art, you might need to lean into that in this time. That's what this card says, because it could also represent somebody having some cabin fever, needing to get out and cut loose. So apply it to your own situation. Let's get into tarot. I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote for us. So let's get 3 out here in the upright, then we'll get the intuitive, juicy stuff. We're still using the lovely vice versa tarot. So what's going on with Scorpio, please? So last week's reading, it was titled Huge Changes Incoming. Now, yes, I try to keep the titles as simple as possible, and it did feel like a lot of Scorpios were in those patented Scorpio times of transformation. And it does seem like out of all the signs, Scorpios are always in a state of metamorphosis, change, constant death and rebirth. And I totally get it. I say it every week. I have a whole bunch of Scorpio placements, including my moon. So we're going to see what we have for you this week. As I always say, you know, energy is very fluid. Nothing's ever set in stone. So just take this how it hits for you, because this could be somebody you're linked to showing up. Let's get 3 out here. We don't want to talk too much about last week. We want to see what we have for you this week. So what's up with Scorpio? Okay, lovers, position number 1. Now, that doesn't always have to mean romance. So if you're not watching this for romance, it's all good. Nothing to worry about. Let's keep it moving, though. I could represent something with interpersonal relationships. It's also a smooth, easygoing type of energy, as we have the 7 of Cups here. Let's get one more out, and we'll really start to break this down. Okay, 3 of Cups. So talk about merriment and partying. There's a lot of cups here, so it could be speaking about emotions. Interesting energy here, and I feel like there's a lot more underneath the surface, Scorpio, which doesn't surprise me. I say it every week that the Scorpio readings are always nuanced and layered. But let's go through real quick. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, before we get the clarifiers, everything is looking okay. Everything's looking good. But in position number 1, we have the lovers. Now, this could represent a person in your life that is a Gemini or has a lot of Gemini placements. Okay, when I see this card, it's very similar to the 2 of Cups to me. So if you're not watching this for romance, it's anybody that you have a strong emotional and energetic bond with. So this could be a very good friend. This could be a family member, anyone that you are very closely emotionally tied to. It's also a card of soulmates and twin flames. So of course it could represent romance. Not a bad card. Aside from that, if none of that applies, if partnerships aren't on your mind in one way or another, the lovers is a smooth, easy flowing, angelic energy, and it's nice. But moving to the center, we have the 7 of Cups. Now, this is a layered card. Usually cups speak about emotions, and this one does as well, but this one is more of the head space. So when we see the 7 of Cups, you could be daydreaming more than usual. Your mind could be a little more active than it usually is. You might be getting lost in thoughts. You might just be letting your mind go and go and go. So sometimes in the bad sense, or in the rough, challenging sense, the Seven of Cups can be a little anxious or nervous in its extreme. But this card can absolutely represent options, choices, paths. And we did see last week changes, transformation. So the Seven of Cups is an interesting card to have it come out. So we really want to clarify that. I believe we're going to get a lot of wisdom from that little alignment. But moving to the very end, we do have the Three of Cups, a card of partying, happiness, joy, merriment. So when I see this card, I think of good things. I think of wins, victories, triumphs, blessings from spirit, a cause to celebrate. So this is nice. Is it tied in with this card in the beginning? Could this represent a person in your life that's overindulgent or partying too much? Absolutely. So this card could have a warning attached to it. All cards can. We need to dive deeper on all this. Generally, this is a very positive card, but I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. So we're going to shuffle it up one time here. What do we got for Scorpio, my gods? Please talk to me. This is where it's going to get interesting, I'm sure. I mean, it's always interesting. But yeah, this is where I go intuitive, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Lovers here. And as always, if you're a tarot reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio from this spread, you could drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. You won't be stepping on my bare paws. So let's see what's up with the Lovers. Why are the Lovers here for Scorpio? Please. Yeah, the deck is being specific. There it goes. All right. Yeah, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. All right, if you've been dealing with somebody that's been particularly difficult in this time, they can be softening up. For some of you, for a small portion of you, if you are connected to a Gemini or another air sign like Libra or Aquarius, just beware you might have some choppiness or issues with them in this time. If you're not currently going through issues with them, things could pop up and arise. So I am feeling possible conflict rolling in. However, for some of you, if you have been dealing with somebody who's been particularly difficult, if you've been dealing with someone who's been particularly cold, nonchalant, non-caring, they could start to warm up in this time. So I feel like it's one or the other. There's no in between here. So if some of you have had, no close connections or relationships of any kind recently, this could represent somebody coming in as well. So it's all about applying it to your situation. But those are the main things I feel. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I do feel like this could be somebody softening up. All right, somebody becoming more loving, caring, and nurturing, or you might just be having issues with an air sign, straight up. So let's see if that conflict plays out anywhere else. If not, it's all very personal. So we're going to see what's up with that Seven of Cups. I really want to get over to the Seven and the Three of Cups, because as I always say, this is emotion, this is feeling. This is something that Scorpios feel very deeply and passionately. Out of all the signs, people say Scorpio feel things on the deepest level. So we really want to get into these emotions, because right in the front we have air, lots of mind action too. So let's see what's up with that Seven of Cups. Why is the Seven of Cups here for Scorpio? There's the Seven of Cups here. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Knight of Cups, that could absolutely represent you. There could be some really nice things coming your way, my friends. Once again, this is another card that does tie into romance, so I want to point that out. And I say it every week as well, that I don't just do these readings for love alone, but I am seeing little hints. We have the Lovers, we have that Prince Charming Knight of Cups there. So the Knight of Cups can just represent talks, emotions, emotional offers, love in general. It's creative, it's artistic, and it's a card that represents water signs. So in a Scorpio reading, when I see it under the Seven of Cups, this is just telling me two things. Your mind could be a playground in these times. Your mind could be extra fertile. You could be having really good ideas and be extra creative and artistic, which is a good thing. But just know, you might need to temper that a little bit. Don't let your mind get too far ahead of you. But this to me is saying those Seven Cups are coming your way. You might have to make some choices and decisions, because I'll say this too. The Lovers classically used to be called the Choice. And so when I see that A lot of you might be put to like a choice or a decision in the coming days and weeks, for sure. But I don't feel like any of that's necessarily bad. I feel like it's all for the better. It's all for good. A lot of you could be flooded with opportunity in the coming days and weeks. That's just how it feels. Okay, so whether that is work, money, whether that is romance, love, personal relationships, all this cup energy is feeling okay thus far. So let's see what's up with that Three of Cups. Because like I said, that could either be amazing or it could be a warning. So let's see why that Three of Cups is here. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. So why is the Three of Cups here? Please. And the deck is being specific again. Yeah, this is somebody trying to numb or distract themselves. Okay? There is a huge warning here against that type of behavior, so I'll just say that. Whether it's someone you're very close to or yourself, no judgment here, my friends. But with the Three of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, this is somebody that's in pain. This is somebody that's hurting, showing up right here on the back end of the spread. So although we do have some positive things, good things showing up here, there could be someone you're very close to that's really going through a tough one, really hurting, even if they're not showing it. Because if you look at the cards over there, the Three of Cups, that's happy on the outside. On the inside, it's that Five of Pentacles, lonely, hurt, sad, upset, depressed. So it is giving me that vibe that someone you were close to could be going through a really tough time, or this could be somebody trying to numb themselves. Okay? Do with that what you will. Do with that information what you will. Like I always say, I just read the energies I feel. I'm never going to pass judgment on anything. Who am I? But this is just what I'm feeling here. Let's go through and do a quick recap here, Scorpio, because I feel like this is layered, very nuanced. Nothing shocking for a Scorpio reading, but I do feel like overall the energies can swing in a positive direction. In position number one, we do have the Lovers with the Queen of Swords in reverse. So some of you might be having issues with a Gemini or an air sign, someone you're very close to, whether it's friends, family, or relationships. And for another portion of you, it could just be somebody who's been cold and uncaring, starting to soften up. If you've had no close interpersonal relationships recently, be on the lookout for that. Somebody could enter your life, specifically in the air sign realm. Moving to the center, we have the Seven of Cups with the Knight of Cups in the upright. An abundance of choices, an abundance of decisions and paths. Know that your mind is going to be extra active, almost to the point of anxiety and nervousness. So try to temper that, okay? But I do feel like you're going to be flooded with paths that you could go down, flooded with opportunity and choice. It's all about discerning what's best for you. Moving to the very back end, this is where we start catching a little bit of a warning, because we have the Three of Cups with the Five of Pentacles. So this is either somebody pretending like everything's fine, pretending like everything's okay, showing Three of Cups on the outside, but on the inside, it's that Five of Pentacles. Sad, depressed, hiding it, forcing it down. So do with that what you will. That could absolutely be a warning about emotions. It could also be a warning about numbing. Okay, so I would say this is an important warning on the back end. Like Spirit's saying, like, you should try to stray from that behavior if that's something you're doing. Like, don't numb things away. Don't suppress. Work through. So do with that what you will. We're going to get you one shadow card. Interesting, because it feels like this could be so many different things here, Scorpio. We're going to get you one shadow card real quick. See what's going on, my guys. Yeah, with this, whether it's an individual, whether it's something you don't see, or whether it's something within yourself, I like this portion of the reading. I feel like it always gives nice little insight. So what's in the shadows for Scorpio? Thank you. All right, Queen of Wands. So the area of self-confidence, for some of you, this could represent a fire sign or even a mother figure that's left a mark on you. But when the Queen of Wands shows up, this is all how someone feels about themselves. This is how someone looks at themselves in the mirror. That's what I think. Now, yes, she still has the traits of the other Wand Court cards about being entrepreneurial, a go-getter, confident. But when I see this in the shadows, there might be something about your own self-identity that you need to come to grips with or resolve within yourself, Scorpio. Okay, I'm not going to go too much deeper on that because you know how shadows work. It's all very personal, but this is the card of self-confidence and how someone sees themselves. So maybe in this time, if you do struggle with things like that, maybe spend a little time in meditation and work through it if possible. But Scorpio, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. For the October subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the wonderful Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments which tarot card you'd like to see me dressed up as for Halloween this year. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.